the Pioneer viewers, I hope you're healthy and happy. As always, as the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you important updates on the Russia-Ukraine war. In an army, unity and cohesion are important, not only among the soldiers, but also among other elements of the state. In recent days, Russia has been experiencing significant problems with this unity and cohesion. So there is a serious disagreement between the Russian political leadership and the Russian military leadership. The disagreement between Putin and the Russian commanders have hit the agenda like a bombshell. As the war continues, the Russian army's inability to achieve the set targets is very disturbing for the Vladimir Putin. Putin now wants definite results, but it seems that the Russian army does not have the power to achieve these goals, especially Putin's desire to seize Kiev, but his inability to achieve this goal makes him even more angry. So let's analyze the latest developments together and discuss them in details. But before moving on to our report, I would like to make a small reminder. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you the latest developments on Russia-Ukraine war. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the videos. Let's start, if you're ready, the Pioneer reports. So, as the war between Russia and Ukraine continues, a complicated situation has emerged. The Russian Federation's affair has become complicated. The capacity of the Russian armed forces have been significantly reduced, and there is a great demoralization due to the mounting casualties. This is having a negative impact on the ability of the Russian armed forces to strike on the front line and is shaping developments in the Kremlin. So, there is growing tension among Putin's advisors, with some trying to calm him down, but while others are urging him to adopt a tougher stance. The Russian public is also affected by this tension. In recent days, the discussion between the Russian leader Putin and the generals have attracted attention. These discussions have turned into a clash between Sergei Shoigu and Putin. The size of the discussions is growing and rumors among the soldiers are increasing, although these events are being kept under wraps. So the international community has access to the important information on the subject. These developments create uncertainty in Russia's domestic and foreign policy and further complicates the situation in the region. So, according to recent reports, a secret meeting between Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Russian President Vladimir Putin took place recently. The focus of the meeting was the course of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Shoigu presented a briefing on the current situation in the region and briefed Putin on the latest advances of the Russian army on the front line. However, what interested Putin was not the progress of the war, but why Russian troops were still unable to fully advance towards Kiev. According to the allegations, Shoigu answered Putin's question with a rather remarkable answer. So it is unlikely to reach Kiev in the short term. The president of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, allegedly became extremely angry after this answer. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu tried to calm Putin down, but things did not go well. In a fit of rage, Putin expelled Shoigu from his presence. Allegedly, relations between the two are now completely broken, and Putin insists that Shoigu is entirely to blame for the situation. However, Shoigu's point of view is quite different. According to him, the current state of the Russian armed forces is quite good. However, he says that it is unlikely to advance on Kiev. Therefore, Shoigu cannot make sense of Putin's attitude. Allegedly, Shoigu may have made a speech supporting his positions on this issue. So at the moment, our situation is quite solid. Be skeptical of any information coming from the external sources. Keep your positions firm. Don't listen to those who give you orders from their comfortable seats. We will not play political games. If they attempt to do so, the strength of our army will be sufficient to fight them at home and abroad. So this text emphasizes the seriousness of Sergei Shoigu's statements and the potential threats they pose. Shoigu's criticisms of Putin is subtle but clear. It is stated that the Russian military is uncomfortable with Putin's use of the military for political purposes, and this is reflected in Shoigu's statements. It is also emphasized that there is a hint of a coup in Shoigu's words, and even this hint is strong enough to scare Putin. It is recalled that the coup attempt by the former Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin caused a serious panic, and this time the insinuations of a coup came directly from the highest echelon of this military. It is also alleged that Putin president may dismiss Sergei Shoigu. According to the allegations, Putin met with Alexei Dayumin, the governor of Tula Oblast and a known partner of the Wagner Group, and reviewed a report on the stability of Shoigu's position. Dayumin's report to Putin reportedly raised question about the Shoigu's future. It is suggested that this meeting was a part of the Putin's preparations for questioning Shoigu's position and dismissing him. The Humans also summarized to Putin the contribution of Tula's Oblast to Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. He also raised important issues such as accommodation of Russian troops, the strengthening of Russia's defense industry facilities, and the improvement of the regional healthcare system. Russian sources suggest that Diyumin may have a new role in Russia's defense industry base, and this would seem to indicate a potential power shift in the Russian defense establishment. The timing of the meeting has also led to a speculation that Putin could use it as an opportunity to pressure Shoigu and see Diyumin as a counterweight to embattled defense minister. There are now two possibilities. According to the first scenario, President Vladimir Putin will use Diyumin as a counterweight, which will make Shoigu more playable. But the second possibility is Diyumin is preparing to replace Shoigu. In this case, there is a speculation that Shoigu will retain his position. There is a growing impression that the Russian government has been planting dynamite under its own territory lately. Developments, especially on the front line, are worsening Russia's international situation with each passing day. And in this process, the decisions taken by the president of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, are quite remarkable and have unexpected consequences. So, the situation on the front line is becoming increasingly critical for Russia. Putin's latest moves are likely to deepen the crisis in the country, and the crisis in Russia is becoming inevitable, and an internal conflict seems to be a matter of time. So, what do you think? What kind of political change do you think could happen in Russia if Putin dismisses Shoigu? And how would Shoigu's dismissal affect Russia's domestic and foreign policy? And what would be the courses of Russia's defense policy in events of Shoigu's dismissal? What kind of reactions might Shoigu's dismissal cause among the Russian public? And how would Putin's dismissal of Shoigu affect internal conflict in Russia? And what would be the reactions in the Russian military if Shoigu is dismissed? So let me know in the comments, because you know that I read and I care a lot about all of your comments.